Hi there YouTube, Mark Verheer here with yet another PlayStation 2 emulation video. Now, don't get me wrong, I love playing PlayStation on the original hardware, and over there I've got a CRT, and PlayStation 2 actually looks best on a CRT in my humble opinion. Some games do 480p, but a lot of games just play at standard definition. Now, with help of emulation, it is actually possible to enhance the experience, and quite a few of the textures and models and lighting techniques used in PlayStation 2 games really lend themselves pretty well to upscaling. So I've been tinkering with the PCSX2 emulation project to see how that fares and how certain games run. And I must say that compared to the original Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 on the PlayStation, running the PlayStation on the PC, the PlayStation version upscaled to 1080p actually performs mighty fine. Yeah, and the PlayStation 2 is actually from a console area where gaming by default was pretty much 50 or 60 frames per second, depending on the area that you lived in. None of that 30 frames per second console experience that we got with later generations. One of the people in the comments on that last video requested me to check out Need for Speed Hot Pursuit and how it actually emulates on my system. I'm actually using various systems to emulate PlayStation on. This actually was recorded with OBS at 1080p 60 frames per second on a Ryzen 7 3700, and this is actually the system where I got my new it's rare, it's as rare as hen's teeth, RTX 3060 Ti. I managed to obtain one at a retail price, and I do think it was a return, but probably someone who bought multiple of these cards. So yeah, pretty high-end system, but actually PlayStation 2 running that at 1080p 60 frames per second, that also actually worked quite well on my 4th gen i7 Intel 4790 or something, not the K variant, just the regular clocked one. And I believe I was running a GTX 1060 with that, with 6 gigabytes, and that actually ran fine as well. So PlayStation 2 really isn't that hard to emulate. For quite some time, it actually was pretty much hit and miss, and a lot of games actually had very bad graphical errors and stuff. But this emulator really has come a long way, and quite a fair few games are actually quite playable. And most of the time, I play my PlayStation 2 games on a PlayStation Slim that I hooked up over an open source scaler that outputs the regular PlayStation 2 resolution and stuff over HDMI to my TV. And I have FreeMcBoot, open PS2 loader, a combination, and I'm actually running PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 images of a NAS, which is actually in the same hub, in the same room, which saves me from actually getting the discs from the cabinet or over there or from the attic and stuff. I've stored away quite a few of my discs. If the systems were actually capable of, if I had some other way of playing the games. And yeah, of course, original hardware, original controllers, that's just the best way, especially that generation Xbox, GameCube, PlayStation 2, that and below, that really works very well on CRT TVs. So yeah, you just gotta have at least a couple of these to tie you over. But yeah, these flat panel HD TVs, they just don't really have the upscaling qualities, if they at all actually support composite or component video, analog video at all these days. Most TVs, especially 1080p and above, they pretty much have digital input only. So yeah, going emulation for me is a way to preserve the gameplay, even if my many PlayStation 2 consoles expire. Yeah, I think that generation PlayStation 2 really opened up a jump in graphics that really, even today, to me looks amazing. I think what does it on the PlayStation 2, perhaps more even than on the GameCube, is the lighting. They have very good lighting. It's not ray tracing, of course, but they have visual effects that really enhance the visuals to a great extent, and even more so, I think, than the original Xbox, which I am a huge fan of also. And some would say that the Xbox graphics, which basically was GeForce graphics, looked clearer, and perhaps they did, and the PlayStation 2 graphics were a bit muddier, and it was interlaced actually. But still, yeah, I'm just I'm just a big fan of that generation and before. So here's Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 in 1080p, grabbed at 1080p, and it's about 3 times the original resolution of the PlayStation 2, and it's really quite amazing to see how well actually these graphics upscale, and it must be a testament to the assets used. Because it's almost looks like PlayStation 3 graphics, of course, with less polygons and stuff. But yeah, great stuff. And let's go check out some gameplay. I'll have the first race, race that I evade the cops. It's a very well-known race. It's slightly different from the PC version, which starts out with some sort of, or is that Hot Pursuit number 1? I'm not sure. Hot Pursuit 2, great game. Let's go check it out, even if it's emulated.